Hey guys, Alina with iFoodReal here, and we are shooting our first video in our new studio. It's awesome, it's amazing. And when I asked you what first recipe would you like to see, it was such a huge demand for the healthy freezer meals. So today I'm going to show you how to make 5 freezer meals that are healthy, dinners made with real food in basically 2 hours, and they require no sauteing, no pre-cooking, and you can cook from frozen in your Instant Pot or slow cooker. The only exception is slow cooker recipes with meat. You have to thaw them first. But anyways, if you are expecting mom with a baby, working mom, sports mom, any sane mom needs to do this. I came up with these meals one time when I went on a work trip, and I left all of this for Alex, and he kept raving and raving and raving about amazing dinners. And last time I heard Alex rave about stuff like this was about his truck.
Print all 5 recipes for the meal prep. Gather all ingredients like cans, meat, vegetables, and grains on the counter. No spices yet. Label your containers with instructions. You can abbreviate as much as you want, as long as you and your husband can read it. Open the cans. In real life, I cannot avoid canned goods. That's why I try to buy organic and without BPA lighter. Rinse vegetables with cold water for all 5 recipes. Now we're going to peel them. No chopping yet, because I like to chop vegetables for each individual recipe as I add ingredients to the bag. There is no right way to chop or peel the vegetables. It's really what works for you, and it doesn't have to be pretty. As a self-taught chopper, I can tell you that all you need is a good sharp knife. It doesn't have to be super expensive, but it has to be a good one. And sharpen it once in a while, and a large cutting board, and just go for it. Now add meat to meat-based recipes. In this particular meal prep, it's 3 of them. And when it comes to meat, I just try to buy organic and sometimes local chicken, and cheaper pieces like drumsticks and thighs work too. In all of my recipes, you can use any chicken. I'm not strict with that. They're really forgiving. Grab first recipe and chop all vegetables for it. Add them to the bag. Do the same for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th recipe. It is basically like an assembly line, and the order of recipes doesn't matter. You should have decided by now what works for you and just do it.
That's a lot of garlic and onion. Ukrainians definitely like their onion and garlic.
Now it's time to add beans and grains. You didn't see me opening a can of beans because that day I cooked my own in Instant Pot. And when it comes to dry ingredients like lentils, rice, I like to rinse and drain it first because you just don't know where it has been and how much dirt and dust it has on it. So rinse and drain well. Now it's time to add liquids from cans and jars, like coconut milk and diced tomatoes. If you're planning to cook in Instant Pot, it is super important to keep tomatoes on top and cook the meal that way so you won't get a burn message. Do not add broth or water now. You add it when cooking from frozen. Gather all your spices on the counter, measure, and add them to each bag as per recipe. Yes, you can freeze the spices. Now it's time to seal your Ziploc bags. There is really no right way to do it. I just shove everything in there, bang it on the counter a few times, let as much air out as possible, and go over the seal a few times. It's just really common sense. Okay people, this is super important. There are only two positions you can freeze your freezer meals in. Standing upright like this, or if you have an empty ice cream or honey bucket, push your freezer meal in there. This is your opportunity to let out more air, reseal again, and that's how you freeze it. So when it's time to cook your freezer meal, it will actually fit into your slow cooker or Instant Pot. Trust me, I learned the hard way trying to fit in a flat square into my Instant Pot and close the lid.
I'm going to show you how I cook it, and I choose chicken wild rice soup just because that's what I feel like.
Grab the frozen meal of your choice from the freezer. Run it under hot water for 20-30 seconds. It will help the ingredients slide out of the bag easily. Add frozen meal to Instant Pot or slow cooker. Remember, that's when you have to make sure tomatoes stay on top of cooking in Instant Pot. Now it's time to add stock or water as per recipe. I have it all figured out for you, and cooking instructions are listed under each recipe in the Healthy Freezer Meals post that we'll link below. When I see a little bit of spices left on the walls of the bag, I like to add a little bit of water or stock, rinse the bag, and add that to the pot. And that's Ukrainian in me. Now it's time to cook your freezer meal in slow cooker or Instant Pot. And see you later dinner. It is true you cannot recycle Ziploc bags, and I feel bad throwing them away. So I just wash it with soap, dry, and reuse next time. If there was meat in the bag, I just use it for meat, or if I am meal prepping the same recipe, I use it for the same recipe. And that's Ukrainian in me again. Some of these 5 recipes require final step after cooking, and some do not. But generally they're easy steps, and you just garnish, serve, and enjoy.
Yeah, this is so good. This is so good. This chicken wild rice soup is so good. And the best part is that on a weeknight, it will take you 5 minutes to put it from the freezer into the pot, and then total about 1 hour, and you walk away and you do nothing. And the best part is, I know I already said that, but even bestest part is that it doesn't taste like a frozen food. It tastes like something you cooked from fresh. So it's totally worth it to spend 2 hours of meal prep and have 5 dinners for the week. So yeah, I think it's pretty awesome. That's it for this time for our first video in the new iFoodReal studio. Please leave in the comments below and tell me what else would you like me to see. Would you like another freezer meal prep, or another quick dinner recipe, or maybe almond flour chocolate chip cookies? Don't be shy, and also click the thumbs up if you like this video, and I hope you did, and subscribe to our channel, and see you next week. Bye!